Hello everyone, I'm here in Bosham today and I'm going to tell you another story about King Cnut. And here I am at the church and it's said that King Cnut's daughter is buried here. So you've probably all heard the story about King Cnut and how he tried to hold back the tide. Well, I've come here to Bosham, where his daughter is buried here in this churchyard, to tell you another version of the story. So there's a couple of versions that you've probably heard of, and one is that he's a very arrogant king and he's so full of himself he believes that he can hold back the tide. And then there's another story that he's a very pious Christian and he's there to prove to his followers who think he's incredible that he's actually very humble and only God has the power over the tides. Well, perhaps there's a little bit of truth in both these stories, and I'm here today to tell you another version. So, King Cnut the Great was king of Denmark, Norway and England. In fact, he was the very first king to be called King of England. Originally, all the rulers before then were King of the English. So the third part of the story involves oysters. And here in Chichester Harbour, they're very famous for their natural growing oysters here. The Romans had harvested them for many years. And as you can see across here, this is where they actually used to harvest them. And King Cnut, the third story about him was that he actually built a dike to hold back the sea. And this is where it would have been located. So there's different ways of harvesting oysters. You can dredge them up from the bottom of the sea, or you can farm them by making dikes and keeping them all in a safe little bed. Using a dike, and his followers obviously thinking he was brilliant, and the locals obviously thought he was completely nuts because nobody could clearly hold back the sea. Dikes obviously take a fair amount of pounding and things like that with the sea coming against them every day. It's hard to believe with such a lovely tranquil day today. But the dike did fail, unfortunately, and the sea did flow out. So there he was. He had failed his mission. So brought here to Fowley Island, and Fowley Island is one of the old oyster beds here in Emsworth Harbour. And here you are, it's high tide and it is flooded. And so King Cnut, was he responsible for this one? So what do you think? Was King Cnut an arrogant king trying to hold back the waves? Was he a pious Christian proving to his followers that only God can hold back the waves? Or was he an entrepreneur building dikes and trying to harvest oysters? Who knows? Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Was he the real location? No. Dikes were originally Norway. Too close. It's at high tide, here we are, and I got my feet very, very, very muddy in order to do that. It's oh no. So King Cnut, was he? Oh dear.